Hello and welcome to another PTS video for Star Wars The Old Republic. So this is going to be the one looking at some things around our combat style and our loadouts and the new ability tree that they've introduced with 7.0. So there's going to be a lot of changes to how we work with our characters, how their abilities are going to be. And part of the idea was I wanted to be able to balance the classes a little bit better so that they performed a little more equally. And especially important, they were looking at the PvP aspects of these characters to try and cut down on some of the bloat, some of the defensives, reduce time to kill for PvP encounters, stuff like that. So here we've got a new character sheet, pretty straightforward, pretty nice. And here we've got loadouts. So as you can see, quite a healthy number of loadout slots. I'm very happy with this, as you can potentially have 6 different disciplines available to you with both combat styles unlocked. That gives you an additional 4 loadouts that you can load up, and I think that's going to be pretty healthy and pretty good, because I know for a single discipline I'll want multiple loadouts. What I've done here is I've set myself up with a telekinetics, and as you can see, this is kind of the info on what that loadout looks like. It's a sage, it's telekinetics, and here are the ability tree choices that you made along the way, and then it shows you everything that they are going to equip. If it's not in your inventory, you cannot equip it anymore. So that's an important thing to note, is you either have to already be wearing the gear or you have to have it in your inventory to be able to equip it. And then if we swap to this balance setup here, you can see suddenly it says balance over here, and it shows, not always completely, but it shows the choices we've made here, and then it shows any differences. You can see a slight difference in the accessories, as well as the major difference in the abilities and the discipline. And then between these two balance setups, I decided to pick a few differences between the tree so that you can see the difference. You can have, this one would be set up for a slightly different purpose than this one. This one is set up for generally doing PvE content with a focus on a little bit extra AoE damage. This one is a little more focused on single target damage and provides us with some stuff like having our force lift available to us, more movement. So it's kind of like a bit more depending on the content you'd want to do. Just as an example, not saying these are final builds in any way, shape, or form. So how does this look? Right now I am set out to loadout 1, which is Sage Telekinetics, and you can see all my bars, ways, everything is loaded out. So now let's swap to our balance alternative setup, and I just click activate, and you can see everything moved for me. One thing that's important to note is you're not going to have anything changing when it comes to the actual user interface. So when you go here and you select which user interface you want to use, that does not get saved by loadouts, that does not change. So just keep that in mind. Here is the new armor that they've given us. This is 318 item rating. Pretty fancy, pretty nice. I've also got one of the new hairstyles on. So again, pretty nice. Okay, so let's go back, bring up, press K for what we knew as a utility combat proficiency window. In here, you can see this is the new ability tree, and you can barely see a faint glow on the things that I've selected to choose. So those are all the choices I've made. You can see all your abilities here, or you can press P to bring up the traditional abilities window. I love the fact that now everything's just Sage. There's no more looking through 2 lists of Sage and balance, or Sage and telekinetics. So that's a real nice change, that all your abilities are just in one spot, and every general abilities, those are in a different spot. Whatever, it's fine by me. The other thing to note too is anything that you make changes on your bars are going to be saved immediately. So I've just added some abilities here. Let's even add in our quick travel. And then when we go to our loadout screen, we don't have to do anything. So there's 2 buttons for existing loadouts. There's a rename button and a copy. So if we click the copy button, basically it doesn't matter when we do it to our own loadout, because our own loadout is automatically saved. The idea would be is if you wanted to use this as a reference point for another one, you could copy it over to a different one, would be the idea. So we've just made these changes on this one. I'm not going to hit save or anything like that. I'm just going to go straight up and activate my next one. So this is my other balance setup. You can see a few things have changed. Abilities have moved around a little bit. Interestingly enough, I don't remember putting rally on this one, and yet rally's now showing up. So I remember quick travel being there before, but yeah, I'm not sure. But if we go back to this one now, as you can see, all these extra abilities are there that I put on previously. And then if we go to our telekinetics, all of that is missing. So very easy system, very nice, flow to it. There are some bugs. I'm not going to bother showing you the bugs right now, but that's pretty cool with the loadouts, how quick and easy to swap stuff. If you choose to use, actually let's create a new loadout for this so I don't screw things up. So this is one of the downsides of loadouts auto-saving is environment, let's call this testing environment right here, is things automatically save is not great. So if I come in here, I can just pick telekinetics like this. And yeah, what's going on? Yowzers. So as you can see, it's really a different experience. There's a little bit of a delay there. You got to wait for everything to calculate. All of these abilities, I got to reload this window sometimes to make sure they're done right. But yeah, it just seems to pick a default set of abilities for you. There seems to be a default that it goes through. You're not going to get what you were expecting necessarily compared to loadouts. You're going to have to redo your choices here. You're going to have to redo a bunch of your stuff on your bar. It just creates a mess. So that is one thing that's a little bit sketchy, is I'd really like to see them put some kind of warning in when you click on one of these buttons in here to say, do you wish to save this as a new loadout? Warning, something like that. Because as it stands right now, that's a little bit scary that you could easily make that mistake there. But otherwise, now we've got our other loadouts. If I really wanted to, I could copy this one over to there. So let's hit OK, and then this one just became active anyways. So it's not really, I don't need to activate it again. You can see by that gold border. But yeah, you can see that now this one no longer being that mess it was before. And then I can go swap easily. So loadouts are absolutely great. I'm very, very happy with how loadouts are looking in the game. They are working almost as intended. I'm sure there's a few bugs that they plan to fix, because I've noticed some things that don't swap properly when you do loadouts. But otherwise, aside from the minor gripe that they don't remember the user interface setup that you're using, they're great, because I would love it if I didn't have to go and click this button to change it. But it's not really a big deal, because your buttons are still going to be on the same quick bars in the same spots. So yeah, just remembering to have to click this in addition to loadouts, not the end of the world. So nitpicking there, right? Just spoiler, of course, well, not spoiler, a little bit here is they do have the outfitter, including the weapon slots, currently not working in PTS. So thanks everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I am super excited about how loadouts have turned out so far, and I'm very excited about how loadouts are really going to improve quality of life in the game and allow us with 2 combat styles to have a whole bunch of different things we can have on the same character. So if you have a preference to running the same character regularly for content, now they have the ability to do multiple roles, have multiple different setups that you can easily swap without thinking about it, and that's exciting for everybody. As always, have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.